What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Small Business and Innovation Podcast. I'm your host, the Star Maker, Stephen Johnson, also affectionately known as the one they call. And today I have another very special guest for you. Go on and introduce yourself, sir.
Good morning, Chris Buccini, co-president of the Pollin Group.
It is a pleasure to finally get an opportunity to sit down. If I can go ahead and steal a little bit of camera time personally. I've been trying to get in front of this man for an interview for probably the last 4 years. I've met your brother several times. This is our first time sitting down. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
So I know that your schedule is an extremely busy one, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Go ahead, take, say, 30, 40 seconds. Tell us what your business is, what your business does.
Sure. So the Pollin Group, we're a real estate investment, development, and management company. We're co-headquartered between Wilmington, Delaware, and Washington, D.C., and we build and own and manage hotels all over America, from New York City to Portland, Oregon, to Nashville, and many in Delaware, including the historic Hotel DuPont. We buy and build apartment buildings as well. We buy and build office buildings, mostly in the Mid-Atlantic region. And we also are mixed-use developers, which means we come into big projects and we say, hey, let's build some retail here, some office here, some residential there, a hotel there. And a lot of times we do it that's sort of anchored by sports and entertainment. So,
I love it.
Philadelphia Union Soccer Stadium, the Sixers G League Arena, and in Pittsburgh it's with the Penguins, and we've got some Live Nation venues as well. So that's sort of what we do, and we're really focused on not just building real estate, but by building community as well.
That is one of our favorite things about your business here.
Thank you.
At DETV. You've built a company that has family kind of at the center. So can you talk to me about what it takes to run a family business while keeping the results and the relationships intact? Because that's very hard to do.
That's it's sort of in my DNA. My mother's father started an HVAC business, an air conditioning heating business back in 1947, and he unfortunately passed early. So my grandmother and my mother had to step in and take over the business. And shortly thereafter, my mother and father were dating, so then my father came and got involved and started to run the business with my grandmother and my mother. So every day after school, I would get picked up and we'd go back to the office. So it was just sort of ingrained in who I was to constantly be surrounded, be growing up in any business, in a family business. And I've had the pleasure of working with my brother for 30 years and one other partner, Dave Pollin. So I've had a lot of experience of the joys and some of the difficulties of working in a family business. But obviously I believe that the joys far outweigh the difficulties. And I've got lots of things I could say about the joys and how to make it work as well.
You're going to have to tell us what the secret is the next time you come back, because I know sibling groups, I know families that can't order a cup of coffee together, much less run a business together. Now, a lot of people buy property, but most do not become developers. So can you talk to me about the mindset shift that has to go on for someone to go from maybe investor to developer?
That's a great question. I have to say we probably came at it more from a development side than an investor side. Grew up with an Italian grandfather who came from Italy with nothing, and got into the construction business through air conditioning and heating. So we sort of really grew up in that construction industry. It just seemed very logical. You just build things, and so we started small. My brother actually started the business before I joined him. He built a small industrial building in Pennsylvania, and then he and our partner Dave Pollin built a small Best Western, and then I joined, and we started buying buildings and redeveloping buildings and building bigger buildings, and so the rest is history. But they are quite different, being a developer and being an investor, and it's when you're a developer, you sometimes need less capital to get started than you do if you're an investor. If you're an investor, sometimes if you have access to lots of capital, it's easier to just start buying things.
Yep. Talk to me about a decision that you've made or you and your partners have made that many people may have disagreed with at the time, but it paid off long term.
Well, I mean, listen, when we first started buying buildings in downtown Wilmington, Delaware, sort of winter of '99, everyone thought we were insane. I mean, there was literally not a local bank who would give us a bank loan to do any of it. And so all of our capital had to come from New York and elsewhere. And I mean, I think in a lot of ways people were right. It took a long time for these investments to really take. It was a much longer term strategy. But I think the results today, 30 years later, we're incredibly proud of sort of the success that we found there. But yeah, I think that was the thing. Everyone in Wilmington was like, "What are you doing? This makes no sense. There's nothing going on in the city of Delaware, city of Wilmington. Why would you do it?"
Well, I'm very happy that panned out for you.
Thank
a
you.
lot of this fun stuff you see downtown maybe wouldn't be here without it. Your company is becoming more known for scale than it has been previously. I think that's fair to say. With
Absolutely,
the
sure.
growth that you guys have been doing, but scale sometimes can dilute culture.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how you preserve the identity and keep the culture while growing fast.
Wow, that's a great question. I think we literally 20 years ago got to the scale that we're at today on many levels at the senior level team. And so we've had to remain big because we love our team. It's a very team-oriented culture. And quite frankly, to support a team like that continues to evolve and mature, you need to do larger projects to generate the revenue just to take care of the team. And so I think the hardest thing is, I used to feel a lot more fun when I was younger. And, as we get older, how do we maintain that culture of one, it's at the heart, it's a family business. We like everyone to feel we care deeply that people enjoy their workplace. So we just do a lot of events. It's a lot of happy hours. It's a lot of, Halloween. We just had a big Halloween parade at work. It's a lot of not just making work as a place where you've got to go and clock in, clock out, but it's a place where you have coworkers that you really like, you want to spend time with, you want to enjoy, and there's a greater purpose. I think, when we do company surveys every year, people love working at BPG because they feel like they're part of something much bigger. They're not just building, like a warehouse somewhere in a cornfield. They feel like they're really building community.
Yes, and as a consumer of your product, so to speak, you used to live right down the street.
I love it. Thank you.
That leads me to my last question.
Sure.
We're going to try to make it a good one. When the next generation of your family or your team steps in, what is it that you hope they'll understand about what you guys have built and what it costs to build?
Oh, wow. You've got really good questions. Well, first off, I think the most important thing is that my children, my brother's kids, they find something they're passionate about in life. I could care less if it's working at BPG, if it's working somewhere else, if it's being a school teacher, if it's, I have a niece right now that's working at MoMA in New York City in the Museum of Modern Art, and we're so incredibly proud of her. And she's following a passion as it relates to art and culture. So I think number one is in life, it's a long life. These kids are going to live a longer life. They got to find stuff that they're passionate about.
Yep.
And so if it is real estate and if it is Buccini Pollin Group, then I think that the most important thing is for them to know how hard it was to build this business, and the grit and the tenacity and sort of maybe the tough times that we had to face. And so I think because that's what, we're incredibly proud of the work we've done, and I think a lot of that is because we knew how hard it was to get there.
Yeah. And
it continues to get there. And I think, quite frankly, if you come in and you think everything's so easy, hard times will come. It's a cyclical business, and so it's important that they understand just the difficulty, how hard you have to work, and how hard it is to make it happen. That's just, most people just say, "Oh, wow, this is really cool. Like, you guys own things." Well, I don't think we think of ourselves as owners. We think of ourselves as stewards. We think of ourselves as builders. We think of ourselves as operators. We don't really think of ourselves as owners.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you once again stopping by. Are we going to be able to get you to come back?
Always. I love coming here. This is easy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were able to find some value in our discussion with Mr. Chris Buccini today. If you did not, I don't know what's wrong with you. Maybe you need to go back and take another listen, another 1 or 2 or more times. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by once again on the Small Business and Innovation Podcast.